In this lesson, we're just going to look at how fractions are division problems, and it is our 5th grade number and fractions standard number 3. In our sharing cookies lesson, we saw how every fraction is a division problem. Our first example, if we are sharing 5 cookies with 6 people, we have 6 people, but we only have 5 cookies. Right away, we already know that each person cannot get a whole cookie. So we decided to take each cookie and break it into 6 equal parts, meaning that each person will get 1/6 of each cookie to be fair, because everybody has to have an equal share. So if each person gets 1/6, then each person 1/6 of each cookie, then they will get a total of 5/6 of a cookie. So this becomes our division problem. 5 divided by 6 is the same as 5/6. Let's look at our second example where we have 6 cookies and we're sharing them with 5 people. So now we are taking the 6th and we are dividing it with 5 people. So 5 people, 6 cookies, so each person gets at least 1 cookie. And then we have to decide what we're going to do with that last cookie. Because we have 5 people, we should break that cookie into 5 equal parts. Pretend they're all equal. And each person gets 1/5 of the last cookie. So now we can see that the total number of cookies that each student got was a whole plus a fifth. And if we look at our original division problem, 6 divided by 5 is the same as 6/5, our numerator divided by our denominator. We have to simplify that, and our final answer becomes 1 1/5, which we can represent visually, or we can represent it with our numbers. Therefore, we can see that we can write every fraction as a division problem. For example, if we have 8/10, that is the same as 8 divided by 10, which we know is less than 1, which is equal to 8/10. If we have 5/7, that is 5 cookies, say, shared by 7 people. If we have 8/3, we know that that's 8 divided by 3, which is, we see this as an improper fraction, so 3 can fit into 8 more than 1 time. It fits in 2 times, and we have 2 left over. We're not going to actually do the division to get a decimal. We're just going to show that every fraction is a division. It's the numerator divided by the denominator. At the same time, we can write any division problem as a fraction or a mixed number, and our final answer should always be simplified. So for example, if we say 6 divided by 7, that is the same as 6/7, our numerator divided by our denominator, and 6/7 is simplified. If we had 9 divided by 12, then we know that's 9/12, our numerator divided by our denominator. This can be simplified. You will see automatically, I know, because you're so good at simplifying, is the same as 3/4. If we do an improper fraction, say 10 divided by 6, again, it's our numerator divided by our denominator, and we know that 6 goes into 10 one time. It has 4 left over, So 10/6 is the same as 1 4/6. Dividing by 2 is the same as 1 2/3. Or if we had 28 divided by 5, we would have 28/5, which is the same as 5 3/5. So again, we can see that any division problem can be written as a fraction, and when we're working with fractions, our answer is going to be in fractions. We're just going to be simplifying using fractions, not doing actual division to get decimal answers. Okay, so now it's your turn to look at the problem and decide whether you're going to need to write it as a division problem, or if it's a division problem, you need to write it as a fraction and always simplify. So try those on your own and then check back for your answers. So pause the tape now. Okay, so for our first example, we have 4/9. We know that that division problem is our numerator 4 divided by our denominator. Our second problem is 20/5, which is 20 divided by 5, and we know that that final answer is 4. And 15 divided by 3 is 15 is our numerator, divided by 3 is our denominator. 15/3 is equal to 5. And our final one is the opposite of that. It's 3 divided by 15, and we can still simplify that, and we get 1/5, and you notice the relationship between these two numbers. Okay, so now let's look at a real world problem. We have 6 students, and 6 students are required to do a 9-minute presentation. How many minutes does each student have to present? So the students are doing a presentation. The presentation has to be 9 minutes long, and we have 6 students. So that's our important information. We have to decide which number is going to be broken up or divided into. Is it the 6 or the 9? Work out the problem and then start the video again to check your answer. So I hope you broke the 9 minutes into 6 equal parts, and you didn't take the 6 students and break them into 9 parts, because that wouldn't be good. So we have 9 divided by 6 is 9/6. So that was 9 minutes divided by 6. That's our division problem. It becomes our fraction. We know that it is not simplified at this point, so the answer is 1 3/6. Again, even more simplified, it's 1 1/2. So each student, to be fair, should present for 1 minute and a half of a minute, which is 30 seconds. So our final answer should be 1.5 minutes or 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, so let's look at another problem. This time we have 10 hikers, and they are sharing 6 gallons of water. So how much water will each hiker have, and how much will they have to carry? So again, you have to think about what we're dividing. We have 2 numbers here. We have 10 and we have 6. So are we dividing 10 by 6, or are we dividing 6 by 10? You have to read the problem carefully to decide which answer is correct. Pause the video, work it out, and then start it up again to compare your answer. Okay, so hopefully you decided that we were not going to take our 10 hikers and break them into 6 equal parts. We're taking our 6 gallons of water and we're dividing it or sharing it equally between 10 people. So we know that 6 divided by 10 is the same as 6/10, because every division problem is a fraction. The numerator is divided by the denominator. We know that that also can be simplified. They can get 6/10 of a gallon, but if we break that into or divide it by 2, each hiker will get 3/5 of a gallon of water. So your final answer should be 3/5 gallons of water, or 3/5 of a gallon of water. So of course we always think our last idea is, can you come up with your own story problems? Can you come up with a problem that could match 3 divided by 4, or say 9 divided by 50? We know that you can solve your problem when you do that, but coming up with your own story problems is always a fun part of the challenge. So hopefully you can do that, and you learned about division and fractions and how every fraction is a division problem. Good luck.